Victory of the year on the line. Goff's got it. Back, looks, throws, ends up.
Yes!
Caught! Touchdown, Detroit Lions!
What's up, everybody? It's another episode of the D-Man. I thank y'all for tuning in. Now, it's been a kind of sort of crazy weekend. You know, Chris Jones signed that extension staying with Kansas City, so now everybody can just kill that rumor off of him coming to the Lions. Not saying that he's a bad player, but it was more like just because of his age, I don't feel like Chris Jones is worth that type of money. And his regular season stats compared to his playoff stats is like night and day. But that's just me. You know, everybody still shows all the potential, blah, blah, blah. But at the end of the day, being 29, it's really hard to say potential-wise because it's like when you're in your 30s in the NFL, depending on position you play, you kind of starting to regress, not get better. So I don't really understand why people say potential, but like it's neither here nor there. But now, you know, tagging Ladarius Sneed and everybody talking about, you know, him, you know, leaving Kansas City, coming to Detroit will be an upgrade. Of course it'd be an upgrade. That's a stupid question. But like it was more of a thing of why like would he come in and make an immediate impact? That's the only real question because at the end of the day, you see Ladarius Sneed is really good and he won a championship with Kansas City. Thing is, we seen a lot of people, you know, leave the team and kind of fall off a little bit, i.e. Cameron Sutton. Cameron Sutton was the talk of the town when he was with Pittsburgh, came to Detroit and got exposed. They showed why he wasn't really a number one cornerback and let CeeDee Lamb and Mike Evans set career highs on him. So, you know, would that be the same thing? And then, you know, Emmanuel Mosley coming back for that 1 year is a good thing because it'll help him and also help the team, especially with him coming back on this kind of contract. But at the same time, it's like, you know, I just hope you don't get injured again, man. I really hope you start to go up like this versus just having an injury-prone career. But we're going to see. Then one thing that threw me off, and it's really not making any sense, I can understand New England, you know, trading Mac Jones because, you know, you just want a fresh start. It shows that you're getting a quarterback in this upcoming draft. So which quarterback is going to fall with the Patriots? But it just really confused me because Jacksonville has a franchise quarterback in Trevor Lawrence. So why would you trade for Mac Jones knowing that he might not see the field for years? That's the only thing that really confused me because I can understand, you know, maybe Atlanta taking a chance on him, even Pittsburgh taking a chance on him. But for the Jacksonville Jaguars to trade any pick, let alone a 6th-round pick for Mac Jones, it really doesn't make any sense. But I'm not in that organization, so maybe in a few years it'll make sense. But me, I kind of feel like they use him as like one of those things that's like if this guy starts to play, then a team will end up trading for him. So Jacksonville may have lost a 6th-round pick right now, but they might gain like a 2nd or a 3rd when they see Mac Jones is the answer to their franchise because I don't really feel like Mac Jones is a bad quarterback. I just feel as though Bill Belichick just didn't use him correctly. Like you want to sit here and have a conversation about Mac Jones being a bad quarterback. I do that in another segment, but at the same time, Mac Jones was being offense coordinator was freaking Matt Patricia. But like prior to you had Josh McDaniels. Okay, yeah, Josh McDaniels isn't a bad coordinator. He's a horrible head coach, but he's not a bad offensive coordinator. Then when he left, you replace him with Matt Patricia. He's showing you that he's a horrible head coach. Might be a good coordinator on the defense. Why would you put him in the offense and then think, oh yeah, you're gonna do something? That was stupid. But you know, I guess I'm not here to there. But I'm getting it very off because that's really just confused me. I still got this thing, get Matt Patricia. I think we all know why. But it's not here there. So we're just gonna move on to the next. So this EP is about should the Lions pursue Joey Bosa or Khalil Mack? Now, you know, Jim Harbaugh coming to the Chargers, you know, coming to a good position. You know, Justin Herbert is hurt, but I also think that, you know, their offense was starting to like kind of fall off, but their defense needed work. And so letting Joey Bosa or Khalil Mack, or if not both of them, go makes sense as a way to get a refresher on that thing. You still got Derwin James. So it's not like you have no pieces on the defense. You just have Khalil Mack, who is getting up there in age, but he still shows that he's a capable defender. And you got Joey Bosa, who is not as good as his brother, but he still has potential. He just been injured a lot. So I don't really feel as though you can control that. It's not like you got to, oh yeah, let's go drink more milk and then I wouldn't be injured. Like you can't really control that. I just feel as though the pressure and everything, same way I just said previously with Mac Jones, you probably just need to go to a different organization, get a fresh start, and just get it, you know, a different pace, different coaching, different styles and everything like that. And not those though, that'll help him out. But then people say, which one would you pick? Which one would I pick? Khalil Mack or Joey Bosa? Now, a lot of people are saying neither. I think y'all crazy for that because you have to understand, like, playing the Lions got super close to making it to the Super Bowl. When you get that close to making it to the Super Bowl, you don't just say, okay, forget it. Let's just blow everything up and do it again. No, like you take risks. You take the type of thing that when you go out, you say, okay, look, we didn't make it this year, but what can we do to make it next year? So you may not have got into the Super Bowl, you may not have won the Super Bowl, but now you see the Lions have, are moving forward, making it to the playoffs, making noise and getting better. So I understand the taking that risk. That's even why I said previously about signing Emmanuel Mosley. Emmanuel Mosley coming back, if he shows half of the stuff that he showed in San Francisco being with Detroit, guess what? That works out for both teams because he's only on a 1-year contract. So you might consider signing him for another year. That way to make sure he doesn't get injured. But if he does get injured, it's really no love lost. Joey Bosa. Trade for Joey Bosa, give up a fifth or sixth rounder. I'm definitely not giving up no second and third for him. Give up a fifth or sixth rounder for Joey Bosa and have him come to the team, put him on the side of Hutchinson. That way the defense can start collapsing, start getting more sacks and getting things going. That'll be good because that's one thing that people say all the time. Like Aiden Hutchinson can't do it by himself. There are times when Hutchinson has messed up, but he's still learning. So he's going to get better with time. Him, Penei Sewell going against each other day after day in practice is going to show, it's going to improve both of them. But if you have somebody, you could double team him and take him completely out the game. But if you have somebody else that's coming, it look good. People are like, oh, James Houston. If you look at James Houston been injured as well. So what's the difference between James Houston and Joey Bosa? It's really nothing if you go off history because they both been injured. They both can play. But when they both play on the field, they do good. But anybody else knows in the NFL, the best ability is availability. So it doesn't matter what you're doing on the side. It doesn't matter what you're doing in practice. It shows what you're doing in the game. That's what matters. So do I think that they both are game changers? Absolutely. But at the same time, you just got to do something about the hit injury. Now, Khalil Mack. When he was in Oakland, I was just like, man, this guy's crazy. When he was in Chicago, I dreaded the Lions playing him because I knew he had the potential to go crazy. He had the potential to be that guy that's just like frustrates you, especially when we had that horrible offensive line when he was here. But then him going to the Chargers and continue to play, I'll take that risk with Khalil Mack. Like I said, I'm still not going to give a second, third round. It doesn't even seem like something Brad Holmes would do. But at the same time, I can understand, taking that risk. And it's like, oh, somebody said recently, like, oh, well, one of the players might end up getting waived. Okay, if they end up getting waived, there's still a waiver wire. So who knows if they're even gonna fall on that? And then also, you don't know if they end up picking Detroit. Just because somebody is a free agent now, like, okay, I just got waived from this team, I'm gonna come here. That doesn't know. They're gonna look at all the other 31 teams and say, okay, let me look at this. Let me look at the roster. Let me see what's going on. They don't have to pick Detroit. But if you end up trading for them, you got them. You don't have to give them much. I wouldn't give up everything for this person, but I would take that leap of faith and thinking that this person is going to bring energy and contribute to the team. So Is it Khalil Mack or Joey Bosa? That's really the thing. And really, I had to say, I would take it on Joey Bosa. I really would. Just for the simple fact that you can continue to move them, continue to have them, and just like how to swap it out. And then if he's injured, you still have James Houston. 10 out of 10, Brad Holmes is going to address that defensive end in the draft. So you got somebody just in there warming it up and everything's like things like that. You have a young player that's just coming to the draft. They're might not make an immediate impact because you might not need them to, but in case something does happen and Joey Bosa is showing that he keeps continue to get injured, you only lost a 6th-round pick, then maybe have somebody coach the young player up, take over, or have James Houston come in. So once again, as I said before, it's just that risk factor. But you bring in Khalil Mack in. Like I said, Khalil Mack got that size. He's a bulldozer, but I ain't actually how she did with Christian Slater. Like it was really good. But it was just more, what do you think? Like, what do you want for your team? And that's the really thing that's the goal. Like, what do you want for your team? What do you see going? Now, I'm gonna read you something real quick. And this is just the stats for the people that are just stat guys for everything that's going on. So let me read y'all for something real quick. This is Khalil Mack. Just for the career. 101 and a half sacks in his entire career. 3 interceptions, 149 assists, and combinations, 591. Look at Joey Bosa. 67 sacks, 0 interceptions, 86 assists. Come on, 321. Now, let's look at this again. Khalil Mack been in the league since 2014. Joey Bosa been in the league since 2016. So if you were going off stats, Khalil Mack is clearly the person that's ahead. But as I said, if I had to pick one, I still would go with Joey Bosa just for the simple fact, not even going off stats. I just go off potential and just that you can have an it factor. Because think about it. Let's think about it right now. If they would never do it, they would never do it. But think about if Nick Bosa wanted to test free agency and leave San Francisco. He didn't want to be in San Francisco anymore. He wanted to try a new regime somewhere else. He would get so many offers, it would go crazy. But you'll have, let's throw out another name, Myles Garrett. So it would be Myles Garrett, Nick Bosa, testing free agency out. Which one would you pick? I'm gonna give you all a second. Really, they ain't even know something to talk about. It will always be Myles Garrett just because consistent, hasn't really been injured like that. Shows you that he comes in and plays hard. He has that it factor when it comes to him. But maybe he doesn't want to be with the Browns or things like that. But at the same time, that man has shown you that he is more than capable of doing everything he's supposed to. But some people will also say Nick Bosa because Nick Bosa has that size. He has the durability. He can, when it comes to standing off his line, he can go under and do over. He can do a lot of that stuff. So, it's really what you want for your team. And that's why I say, like, I personally would take that risk. Hell, if you want to take a real risk, go after both of them. That way everything. And then people are like, okay, what contract issues. Same thing I just keep saying. It's like I'm repeating myself at this point. Same thing I say, like Emmanuel Mosley, you signed him for a one year deal, team friendly deal. Do the same thing. Do the same thing with Nick Bosa and Khalil Mack. That way you can see how it's going to play out. The Detroit Lions are finally a contender. I can't even think about the last time the Detroit Lions were actually a contender. So now you can come in and not only say you're a contender, but you're saying that you are capable of being more and you are capable of making it to the Super Bowl, making noise in the playoffs, and continue to move forward. When have anybody ever heard you say that about the Lions? Never. But you always heard that about Green Bay. At one point in time, it was Chicago. 2 years ago, it was Minnesota. But this is now the time for the Lions to actually continue to move forward, especially I'm saying this ain't got nothing to do with this, especially if Chicago does the stupidest thing in the world and trades Justin Fields for Caleb Williams. I I would love for y'all to make that mistake. Now, the one thing I always said about the Lions, y'all can even go off my other videos. The one thing about the Lions, we always have an issue with running quarterbacks. If you trade Justin Fields and keep Caleb Williams, who is a known pocket passer, and guarantee he is versatile when need be, but for the most part, he's a pocket passer. Oh yeah, we eating you alive every time. This is no slight on Caleb Williams saying that you're a bum or anything like that. It's just more you can close the pocket. You can close the Lions can close the pocket versus using the defense to chase. But that's been a thing before. Hell, don't even take my word for it. Click on the side, make another page on YouTube or something, and look up Brock Purdy running out the pocket. That's how they inevitably end up winning the game. Granted, Lions shot themselves in the foot, but also when it was that pocket was closed and Brock Purdy ran. That's how he ended up getting saved from a lot of it. So you also got to see that. Can't really, you also have to see like how that's how it's going to work with Justin Fields letting on Caleb Williams. But we'll see what happens, man. The draft is coming up. Draft's going to be downtown Detroit. I can't wait. So, what y'all think, man? I have a comment section for a reason, man. Nick Bosa, Joey Bosa. Shit, let me do it again. So what y'all think, man? Joey Bosa, Khalil Mack, go get both of them, get neither of them. What do y'all think? But thank y'all for tuning in, man. Like, subscribe. Thank God Almighty you like to subscribe. Peace, y'all.